Hi Virgo, it's Michelle from the Guided Intuitive. How are you? So I am here to do a spread for the month of October 2018 for all Virgo sun, moon, and rising signs. Okay, guys? It also includes your Venus as well, so be sure to check those signs that are also for your Venus. Now, take what resonates, kick out what doesn't. You guys know the drill, but that's basically it. Thank you so much for all your likes, subscribes, your shares, and your comments. You guys, please keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I've got some big plans for the future. So you'll be the first to know, of course, so I'll make sure that you guys are well aware of that. All my subscribers, it's really important that I keep in connection with you on that. But I will let you know. So it's happening behind the scenes, and I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. It's taken a lot of my time because I work full time, and then I also do this part time, and then I have to leave some time for some sort of socialization and to get with my family and to have a life, and date and all that stuff. So it's so important there. So it's very it's something that I need to do, and I need to save some time to do, and you guys get that too. But I'm really excited. So I'm doing something different for you guys this time. I'm using some different cards. These are journey cards. They're a little bit different, and I'm going to do a different spread for you that I think that you'll like, because it's going to talk about, well, won't talk about it. I'm going to show you. So what I'm going to do is bring the camera down and let's get started. Okay. So I'm going to move this over here so you can kind of see a little bit better. Okay, gotcha. All right, so what I'm going to do is cut the cards and move forward and see what we have for Virgo for October 2018. Now, this is going to be, Virgo, your past, okay? This is going to be your current situation, just current your energies, and this is going to be what you want. And this is going to be what you need to focus on, what you need to do. And then this is going to be what you need to avoid, okay? So let's see what's at the bottom of the deck here. Oh, this is saying she loves. This is beautiful. Now, when I see this card, what this talks about to me, this talks about, of course, that a woman that is just loving, and she's loving unconditionally, okay? She's forgiving herself of past situations where maybe she felt that she didn't know what to do and she did the best that she could. And this, again, could be a male or female. I'm just, it's the energies that's most important that you guys need to, that I shouldn't say that you need to really kind of focus on for the most part. So if everyone just focuses on the energy itself, that's going to come through. But it's talking about, she loves. And this is interesting because what card is this one? Okay, so it's a 7 card, which is actually quite lucky. And it's almost like, to me, this looks like a person that is about unconditional love, that gives unconditional love. And because she knows, or, she knows what her energy is, and she knows her boundaries, and she knows when she's going to step over that. But this is actually talking about forgiveness. So if there is a underlying energy where you feel you've got to forgive someone, just know that by forgiving someone, you automatically forgive yourself. And if you don't forgive someone, you can't forgive yourself. So it's quite interesting, that dynamic in that play between that. So just, open yourself up, Virgo, for love, and forgive yourself for maybe things that you weren't sure that if you maybe acted in the right way, and then maybe found out, you reached this all-knowing saying, hey, maybe I didn't come across as well as I should have, whether it's a relationship, a situation, a project, a loved one, whatever that case may be. But this is to bring you guidance, that this is really just to bring guidance and to let you know that it's okay. It's totally okay, that it's a message from the divine that you are forgiven and you're worthy of forgiveness and you're capable of really great spiritual generosity and in forgiving others. So that's what this is saying. So if there's a person that you could not forgive, remember, you really you really are just not forgiving yourself in that case. Maybe it's perhaps for being vulnerable, maybe for not knowing better, or for just not listening to your own intuition. But the time right now is to let that go, Virgo, and allow that forgiveness to take place, because the divine has for you, and it has forgiveness, and it's saying that you are now free, and you just need to realize that in your heart. Okay, the forgiveness from the divine is being blessed upon you right now. So this is what it wants you to know. You guys, let me know, how this this resonates with you. But forgiveness is here, and it's for you now. When for the times when you couldn't forgive another, even if you really tried wanted to. Okay, so she loves, and she's here for you now, and that's what this is saying. So open your heart and let forgiveness and let this goddess of forgiveness fill your heart, because you are now free. So that's what this wants you to know. So now let's go ahead and move into your past situation and see what that is for yourself here. Okay, and this is let the feminine lead the way and sensual awakening. I will tell you, there's a lot of resonating between a lot of the different signs. Be sure, you guys, to check your moon, rising, and your Venus signs, because there is a lot of similarities between all the reads that I've had. A lot of similar cards. But this is saying let the feminine lead the way. Now, it doesn't matter if you're masculine, a male or female. This is saying that feminine energy, those instincts, kind of come to the surface, and let them lead your way through. Okay, getting out of that intellectual side, but to really let your feminine instinct and your feminine energy lead the way. This is a 39 card, which breaks down 9, 10, 12, and then of course brings down to a 3. So, and what the 3 is about being creative. So this is interesting. So what this really talks to me about is that is this confirmation that you've been feeling and sensing things even without evidence, like this logical evidence, right? So logical evidence is what's kind of coming through. And this is saying that trust your senses over appearances, and trust your intuition over your intellect at this time as well. Because you're letting your feminine wisdom really guide you, and that feminine wisdom is going to steer you in the best direction possible. Okay, so whether you're a man or woman, the way forward right now is the feminine principle, and she's that principle of feeling and surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding her in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. So what this is saying is that your way forward is to trust her and let the mind go and let your senses lead you, because you are becoming more exquisite and becoming just really more communicative. So be led by your heart, and don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how things are going to pan out. Because your feminine guide, your feminine energy knows the way. Let her lead. Okay, and all of this is also saying, now this is in the past. Now energies do transcend, so it may be something that's currently in your situation, or maybe you haven't even experienced it yet. That's okay, because when you get a reading, sometimes that and especially in a general read such as this, it's not tapping into you personally. There's thousands of energies that are actually coming forth that we tap into. But what this is saying is that it might resonate, if not now, if not in the past, it may be way down the line. I've had reads that don't resonate to 6 months from now or a year from now, but listen to it every month, and that gives you an idea that you can kind of take that temperature every month and see where you were at the beginning of the first of the month, and then 12 months down the line in the 12th month, and then see where how that resonates for you. Because it really changes as you change and you make your different choices. Now, the next card is called Sensual Awakening. And this is beautiful because this is a 64 card that breaks down into a 10, which breaks down to a 1. And the 1 is that new beginning. So you've got this new awakening inside you. And it's sensual. This is about your... this is all about like your senses. This is, that you're feeding into your senses and feeding into what makes you feel good, right? And it is about guiding you that your sensual nature, your sensuous nature needs to come out and play, okay? And that's what this is saying. So spending time in nature, taking a bath, dancing mindfully, that type of thing. Get a massage or something like that. I'm doing that today, actually. So it's really, really important to let that awaken within you, and do something that really feeds your soul and your senses. And every now and then, that's something that must be done. So I did a little post in the community talking about, what is feeding your soul this weekend? What are you doing? And mine was, I'm getting a massage, and I'm calling my mom. And, I'm getting out and being a little bit more social. So, do what feeds your soul. And this is saying you've got this sensual thing that's awakening, this sensual awakening that's taking place within you. So play what feels good for you and enjoy this type of indulgence. Maybe it's a piece of dark chocolate, yum yum, right? So whatever that is, you guys are gonna know what is that for you. Note your comments below. What's your sensual awakening? Okay, it could be anything. Okay, anything. So note your comments below. I'd love to know. But this is coming into light, and it's like this sacred temple of your body, and your soul experiences this vast buffet of life, and it's manifesting. So your sensuality is a way for you to express, your soul to express, I should say, that appreciation, that pleasure, and that joy, okay? And it needs to be expressed regularly, and it can be muffled under, too much thinking, right? So, that is really, really important. Too much thinking on the head and not, awakening to the feminine side and using that feminine energy to use your instincts. So you're being called to experience your sensual nature again, Virgo. And you are beautiful, and you are so appealing and so striking. So allow your senses to lead the way, as well as your feminine energy, and allow your sensual appreciation for yourself as well as others to flow, and enjoy that unique experience of this soul awakening, because it's a body awakening and it's all about love. So you might have a love interest or love for yourself that's just, moving through you. It's quite beautiful. Now let's go ahead into your current situation. And this is actually called the Blood Dance. And it's also called the Guardian of a Soul Family. And I will tell you, Capricorn got this card as well. But the Blood Dance. So this is interesting. And this is... it's in your current situation at this time. And what this calls out for is that you are, it's like this, it's this confirmation that you're connected to the divine source, to all that is, okay? And if you are experiencing maybe being cut off from yourself in some sort of way, in some sort of shape, in some sort of form, if you feel like you're being cut off or disconnected from yourself or from your body or from another person in your life, or even from the divine, and it could be your own feelings or a spiritual connection or your intuition, this card wants to reassure you that this is just a cycle of life. It's only temporary right now, okay? It's only temporary. And soon that, all will be, will return. And it's going to return with such beautiful warmth, Virgo, and with such nourishment. And it's going to welcome you home again. Okay, with great love. So if you feel you've been, journeying on your life and you feel that you've kind of lost your way, don't worry. Okay, don't worry, because currently this is saying that you're a precious soul and you're never far from home. You always will be called back to home. Okay, and that's what this wants you to know. That divine presence is there, and you're always the blood that is connected to the heart. Right? You're always connected, and your blood always finds its way through your heart. So you're going to have to go through this dance and just know it's a part of a life cycle, okay? Quite beautiful, Virgo, quite beautiful. Now, we also got in your current position the Guardian of the Soul Family. And it's almost like it's if you are involved in a certain group of which that you're feeling that you're out of sorts with, you're not kind of vibing with, okay? This is saying that you need to search for a group that resonates with you, to your soul, what resonates with your soul, so you can have that connecting and feel, like you're being something on a larger path in itself. So if it's not your current group that's infusing this inspiration, infusing this enlightenment and this uplifting type of energy, if it's bringing you down, that's a group that you don't want to be with, or that it needs to change, and you need to partake with souls that feed that have that same resonance, with you. So that's what this wants you to know, is that you're the guardian of your soul family, and you need to choose a soul family that's going to speak to you, that resonates with you. And that's one of the reasons why I actually created the Guided Intuitive community on the Facebook group, because it allows like souls to come together and be a part of a soul group and a personal development. They're all on that personal improvement, and it's about uplifting each other, okay, through this process and this journey as we go through our transformations and life cycles. We might be on our own journey, but we come together in a group to help move us forward. So if you're interested in that, go to the Guided Intuitive and click Visit Group, and it'll prompt a few questions, and you're in. So that's what that is, and it's a sacred group there. So this is a soul family that is saying that you are the guardian of your soul family. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose and resonate with a group that doesn't serve you? Or Virgo, are you going to find that group that does serve you and bring you to your higher self? Okay, and it could be having to even do with even a relationship, whatever that case may be. So that's what this is saying. So now let's get into what you want. And this is the heart of God and ethereal touch. Now, the heart of God could be God, any source, anything that you feel is your source for yourself. What is interesting that this is a 9 card, and that 9 is the end of the end of a cycle and moving on into a new cycle. And what's interesting is that in your current, what you want is that transition to take place. Well, my dear soul, you've got a 9 card here, and then you've got a 27 card here. This is also a 9, right? So you've got a 9 and a 9, right? 9 and 9 also come to 18. 18 is 8 plus 1, which equals a 9. Isn't this neat? You can't plan this stuff. So you're the end of a transformation, guys, in your heart. And what this is talking about here is saying that right now, that there's a message from the divine that you have a sacred purpose to fulfill on this earth, okay? And the divine is calling you out to that. Now it is, it's all sorted out. And this situation or this issue that's happening with you, this awakening that you seek, that you want, and this is saying that you are lovingly held in the hands of the divine creator. This creator is saying to whatever situation that is disheartening your soul, Virgo, lift it up to the divine and leave it with the divine, because it's all unfolding in perfection, in perfect timing, and the source is in you. The source is alive in your heart, and the source is your heart. So it's when you say, the heart, it's like heart of source. It's within you. And this situation, issue, or awakening that you seek, that you want, is living. And it's actually in lovingly in the hands of the divine creator. And the creator says to you, leave it with me. It's all unfolding in perfect, in perfection here, okay? The soul, that your creator is saying, I'm alive in your heart, and I am in your heart. So just know that you're part of something more profound, Virgo, and it's a divine calling, and it's a privilege. It's a role to be that inspired person upon this earth, and bliss is often something that we feel. That we feel when we let our source inside our heart, and then our heart opens, and we cannot speak of the sensation. It can't be described. So if you're changing something within your heart, you feel this enormity, that this some sort of big change that's happening. It's beyond analysis and description. You can't put words to it, okay? And you have to simply just be, and that's what this is letting you know, okay? It's liberating, and it's mystery. So that's what this is saying. So the inspiration is to have a heart open to the divine, because your life is calling. There's this new life that's coming into play, that's awakening, and it's calling you forth to love, and and the love that flows through your heart filters out to your toes, and it actually is just dripping beneath you, just as the stars kind of fall from heaven. You just got to let it be and let it go. We're all connected. It's all a part of, being a part and connected to your source. And you're being connected to source by this transformation. Now, this ethereal touch here is also something very, very unique. And just like the sensual awakening, this is actually talking about that spirit is touching you at this time, and and spirit is present in a very way. It's around you, and it's almost as if spirit is present in your very touch at this time. So you're having an impact on the world around you, Virgo, in particularly your close relationships in ways that are far more profound than you may immediately thought was obvious. You're having a profound difference and a touch at this time. So the touch of your soul is ethereal, right? It's spiritual. It's of light and sound. It moves through the heart and opens things, opens faith, opens trust, and opens love that are otherwise, impossible to really access, So trust in the presence of the divine in your touch, your physical and your spiritual, because your healing presence is making waves of love rise and stir in this world. And the divine is living and breathing through you as you become in connection with the heart of your source. So, I can't even explain it, you guys. It's hard to explain. It's something that has to be felt. Just remember that through the sacred temple of your body, what your body gives to you with your hands, through which you hold and give to others, it's that soul within, you offering a sacred healing. So that's why I think this sensual awakening is so important, because it's allowing you to get in touch with source and have a touch on the world the way that you maybe didn't anticipate. You have a touch with on others that you may not have anticipated the importance of, and that's what this is letting you know. So it's guiding you to embrace these types of healing abilities and trust that you could feel your way through life by opening up your hands to receive and then taking hold of opportunities that are present to you, Virgo, at this time. You're meant to touch the world with your unique spirit. Okay? Enough said. So let's go ahead and talk to you about what it is that you need to do. Okay, so you've got the swan. And what this is saying with the swan is there's this gracefulness, leaning in to gracefulness. And that's what this is talking about here. Now, this is, let's see here. Okay, so it's 13, it's a 4. So getting stability by leaning into grace. So it breaks this down. 67 breaks down all the way down to a 4, and the 4 is about stabilizing yourself, and you can do it with the swan by leaning into your very grace that you have. Again, through the ethereal touch, getting it connected with source and your sensual awakening, and using that feminine spirit to help lead the way. Really focus on those that are within your soul family and attract a partner, or those in a group-like atmosphere that are speak to you and resonate with you. So this is, how like the swans gracefully, glide across the lake. And they do so with such ease, and they just lean into whatever nature has provided them to play in, that body of water. And so this is saying lean into that grace of yourself that you are actually going through within this transformation, and then coming into the stabilization. Lean into the true grace of your essence, and that's what the card wants you to know. Okay, so it's quite beautiful. It wants to let you know that you are one with the divine, and it's only a matter of time before you realize it. And that makes sense, because within your, what you want is to have that grace, that peace, right? Because you're going through this transformation here, and this is saying that it's only time before you're going to realize that you are really the swan with grace, and gliding with grace. Nothing is withheld from you. From this beautiful soul. Having grace is being very genuine, authentic, and very loving. It's quite beautiful. So it reaches out to you indicating that you're just held with grace of a great soul. So there might be even a teacher of the heart, of the spirit. And you might be a teacher, or there might be a teacher that you become in connection with, but you're going to be shifting from hope to a sense of inevitable in your attainment of your spiritual goals, whatever's closest to your heart. So be with your practice of love. Practice love. I think that's going to be really important. And through meditation, through yoga, through nature, dance, singing, whatever speaks to you, and know that you're one with the divine. It's just only a matter of time before you realize that after this transformation. What is it that you need to avoid? And what this card talks about is the rings of time. So take a look at that. The rings of time, it's a 44 card, which breaks down to an 8. An 8 is about using the spiritual plane, but it's also using the groundingness of the earth-like qualities, such as your Virgo yourself is. And what this is saying is probably allowing the time right now to take it to play out as it should. And not try to force things to make things happen, that type of thing. It's also saying that there's a message from the divine that is completely responsible for the timing of every event, of every opportunity, and every happening of grace in your life. So, through this transformation, it's going to bring you to grace, and it's in divine timing. And all you need to do is just to live your life, Virgo. Everything else is taken care of for you right now. This applies to all your plans and the unfolding of your relationships. So don't let your relationships, whether romantic, whatever the case may be, this is saying just really, just let it take it in its own divine timing, as that's what it wants to let you know. Okay, everything is happening for a higher good, and for a higher reason, and it's just all in that divine timing, and that's what this card wants to let you know. Okay, so breathe in and let the divine happen as it will. Okay, and that's what the card wants you to know. And that's the rings of time. And it's also that, divine timing is a gift. And that's what the card wants to remind you of too. Sometimes we want to be further ahead than we are. And this gift can seem like a restriction, but it's really a generous holding. It's like a holding pattern. It's like traffic that moves in a way so that not only one car can get to its destination, but many cars can reach their destination according to greater harmony and alignment. We're like individual cars, right? And we have to accept the red lights, right? And other times that we can swiftly go with the green lights. So it's the same way. There's that systematic flow of divine energy through human manifestation. So there is a spiritual maturity that is happening. And it's happening perfectly for you. And there's no need to bother yourself about timing. So just note that when the doors open, just to walk through them. Oh gosh, this is so beautiful, you guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards as it relates to this process of you going through this transformation, and what advice that we could give to Virgo as it relates to this. What advice does Virgo need to know through this transformation? And, this read here, what's so important for them to know. Surrender, guys. Surrender. Remember the 9s that we had in this situation here, 999? Well, the 9 actually moves into a 10, makes it a new beginning, right? That's all this last part is about here. And what this is talking about is to definitely surrender, right? Surrender to the timing, surrender to the grace, and surrender to your source. And surrender to that sensual awakening, surrender to that feminine spirit within you, and surrender to those souls that resonate with you, okay? And that's what this is talking about here. So that is quite beautiful. What other advice can we give? Rebirth. Rebirth. Well, of course, guys, right? Rebirth. The new wonderful page is in your book of life is open for you now. And you can have that energy to move forward and burst through with the passion and desires of everything that you want to achieve, whether that's in a personal relationship, whether it's in work, a project, whatever has brought you here to my channel for this. And parenting is going to play a bigger role. That is also a 9. So perhaps a parenting is coming to an end. Perhaps you've got a son or daughter that's moving on to college and they're living their own life now. And it's time for you to fall into grace and to really build upon your own and to find some more like-minded souls to work with. But also, be that parent. But it's parenting is going to be a particular role. It might resonate with some of you. So let me know in your comments below. And what other advice? Also a happy ending, guys. Wow. Gosh, you guys, you're going to have to take a look at Scorpios. Scorpio also got this particular card at happy ending. And this is quite beautiful. So I hope that this resonates with you guys in some way, shape, or form. I'm inclined to pull one more, and I just don't know what it is. Compassion. Oh, gosh. So this is interesting. Again, the 9 and 9 again brings to an 18, which brings it down to a 9 again. Have compassion in your transformation, guys. It wants you to know compassion towards yourself. Okay, love for yourself. Okay, go get a massage, do some sensual awakening, right? And tap into that feminine energy. And I think you got this, guys. You got this. So love you guys. Look forward to seeing you in the month of November. Let me know how this resonates. And until I see you in November, namaste.